This is Nathan and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at a scenario where the UK forms an empire. So we obviously know the UK had an oh my god. We also know the UK had an empire in history, and they will be not really forming the British Empire, but they will be forming an empire. If I can cut this in. And cool. Now, if you don't know, UK is my home, and I'm surprised I haven't done the UK yet, as I've done pretty much nearly every major country. There still is some I'm missing, such as China, Egypt, and South Africa, and Brazil, and some others. But I've done most of the major countries in the world, and the UK is the fifth strongest. So they will be forming an empire. The UK's first target as an empire is to declare war on Ireland, their weakest neighbour, and I don't even think I have to buff the UK, but they will be buffed. So British troops, ooh, that's a big colour. British troops find really no problem pushing into Ireland and capitulating it, so let's take a look at this peace treaty. If it isn't obvious, the UK is just going to fully annex Ireland, because there's no point. So the British Isles are now finally united again. Now we have the UK heading up over to Iceland saying, hey buddy, we're going to invade you. So we have the UK declaring war on Iceland. We have the UK declaring war on Iceland, and Iceland is way weaker than Ireland. Ireland's a pretty powerful country. I'm not even joking here. A pretty powerful country. But Iceland, they lose Husavik in this part, and really that's it. So it's really a point of showing the peace treaty. Iceland's just gonna get fully annexed. Now the UK's got has now started to kind of reform the North Sea Empire, although they still need to take over Denmark and Norway. And well, the UK is not going to stop with their expansion. So we have them kind of going down to the Benelux region, then they invade the Netherlands. They invade the Netherlands and take that over with ease. I don't think I need to show the invasion. They do the same with Belgium. They do the same with Belgium. And then they also invade Luxembourg. So they just invade all of Benelux. And now, obviously, Germany and France are kind of thinking, why did they just invade all of Benelux? Well, the UK is forming an empire, so that's why. So, Benelux is now under the British control. Now we have the UK, now we have the Royal Navy across all of Norway. It's been a while since I've actually done a European country, like an empire. And this was actually suggested by you guys. I don't know. I really didn't know who to give an empire next. So, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do my favorite thing and sing Svalbard. So after the Royal Navy surrounds Norway, it's kind of obvious what the UK's plan is. The UK declares war on Norway. So, yeah, the UK's kind of doing, I don't know, they're kind of doing these invasions. I don't know what they're doing, honestly. The UK is expanding, and that's what they want to do, and if they want to do that, then we can exactly really stop them. The UK is the fifth strongest country in Europe. They're the strongest country in Europe if you don't include Russia. So the Royal Navy, you should know this, I'm from this country. The Royal Navy and the British Army immediately started the invasion of Norway. We have British troops cutting off Norway right here. And this area is completely frozen, so, well, mountain is frozen, so I don't think they're going to go up there. So we have the British Royal basically what's just happening is the Royal Navy is focused around here. They don't exactly focus here, because again, it's just frozen mountains. We have the British Army beginning to push over to Oslo. And they capture Oslo, and, well, yeah, that's pretty much it for Norway. They lose Oslo, this part of Norway falls, and we just have the surrender of Norway. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. So in the peace treaty, the UK annexes basically all of Norway except from this one part. Now, the UK didn't want all of Norway, they wanted the oil. They didn't exactly want Oslo, but it kind of makes sense. But, oops, no. But, Norway is, they're not even good. But they lost so much of their land. Even if they have Oslo, it's not going to be good. And they just decided to unite with Sweden to form Norway-Sweden again. But I don't think it's Norway-Sweden anymore. It's not just Sweden at this point. So now we have the Royal Navy outside of Denmark, and once again, I don't see the point of showing the UK invasion of small countries. We have the UK invading Denmark and completely destroying it. And now the UK's got themselves a pretty big empire that they want to keep expanding because, well, they want to keep expanding it. So now we have British troops, well, not British troops, but we have British troops leaving the homeland. So yeah, they keep troops here, but the Royal Navy is gonna go down to Africa. And they're gonna go down to Nigeria, where the entire Royal Navy, well, a good chunk of the Royal Navy is lined up on Nigeria's border. Nigeria realizes this, but they don't really care. We have war declaration on Nigeria, and Nigeria is just like, okay, bro. These two countries don't actually have horrible relations. The UK is just invading Nigeria because they want land. We immediately have British troops capturing Lagos with no problem. And, even though Nigeria is one of the strongest countries in Africa, it's not going to go too well. The Nigerian army is here, and this is obviously the UK's hardest war. And the Nigerian army is going to push back. They push back with their entire army. We have a big spearhead going up to Abuja, which goes successfully. And Nigeria is. This would not be easy for the UK. Nigeria is a very heavily populated country. I'm assuming a lot of Nigerians fight for the country. But in the end, compared to UK, no, Nigeria doesn't exactly have a chance. And in the peace treaty, we just have the full annexation of Nigeria. So yeah, the UK is now expanding down into Africa. Now we have them sent an ultimatum over to Cameroon to give up their coast and their Amazonia. Which Cameroon's kind of off about, but they just saw the fourth strongest country in Africa get slapped around. So it may hurt them economy, but Cameroon decides to give up their coast to the UK. So British troops move in here, and now they claim it's theirs. We have Britain doing some invasions in Togo and Benin. So we just have them invading Togo and Benin, because these two countries are really weak. So, that's it. The UK says they are done invading Africa, and they go back up here. And now we have a lot of British troops lined up on Germany's border. And Germany kind of notices this, but when they do, it's too late. We have the UK declaring war on Germany, but in aid for Germany, we have France declaring war on the UK. And to just add to the pain, we have Sweden declaring war on, we have Sweden declaring war on the UK as well. So yeah, this might be a handful, but Sweden and Germany are going to get slapped around. The British troops are going to be, obviously they're going to do what they were told to do, and they're going to be invading, Germany, who really, Germany's probably the weakest country. No, they are definitely one of the stronger ones, but they lose their coast, and we have the UK focusing more on capturing the coast. They capture the coast, and they are right by Berlin, which Germany is not very happy about. We have the UK trying to cut off Alsace-Lorraine, but we have French and German troops stopping that, because if that would happen, Germany would be pretty much screwed. Now, Sweden here is gonna, I don't know, they're gonna struggle. Sweden decides to go on the defensive, but they do help out Germany in pushing back the British right here, near Berlin, which costs a lot of stuff, but they do it, and, well, ow. Now we have France beginning there. Now we have France deciding to do a pretty smart move, and that is to blockade literally everything. We do see France going on the offensive in the Benelux region of the UK. This is mostly because they need to take this out. So they are able to capture Belgium with relative ease and Luxembourg, but once they get out to the Netherlands, a lot of British troops are there, so that doesn't go very well. And France also planned to fight up against some of these troops to help Germany get some free space around Frankfurt. So, yeah, it's starting to look bad as Germany and basically all these countries are now mobilised and they're pushing back. The French and Royal Navy are having a big fight on the English Channel. And the UK figures out a plan that they're just going to push into Sweden and knock them out of the war. So we have them doing their first plan, which is to get France out of Belgium, which goes extremely well. It's because the army is not really here. They're, well, in Norway, Denmark, and Benelux, because, well, the Royal Navy is kind of doing the business down here. And now we have them moving troops away from here. And they recapture this coast right here to cut off any Swedish troops. And now we have one big invasion into Sweden. They capture Oslo, and the Norwegian part of Sweden is once again steamrolled by the British. Because, I don't know why. They have all Norway now, and Sweden's trying their best to stop the UK. But Norway was kind of the weak part, because that was just taken over. So now we see hundreds of thousands of, probably 200,000 British troops just swarming Sweden. We have a spearhead that cuts off the northern part of Sweden, which really nobody lives there, so the UK kind of invades it. It's not looking too good for Sweden now, as their defences have shown to be pretty bad. They lose Stockholm, and it's really not looking good now. And Sweden ends up surrendering. And, yeah, the UK just loses a lot of resources doing that. But now they can focus all their troops on France, which is their next priority. See, if France is out of the war, then that would make Germany, you know, vulnerable. Their defensive military is not going to be enough to fight the whole British army. Although taking out France is going to be extremely hard. So we have the UK doing what they kind of did in, what the Germans kind of did in World War II, to make a spearhead go down to France's capital, Paris. Now, France had a lot of defences here, but they showed to have failed, and we have the British being able to get quite a lot of land. Royal Navy is able to break through and capture quite a lot of this. They capture Brittany, and France is not looking good. French army starts to lose morale as Paris is almost captured. We have the encirclement of Paris and the capturing of Paris. And just again, France is not very good at fighting wars. And I'm honest, this might actually be the first time I think France has ever lost in one of my videos. So now we have Germany realising that this is really not good, because a lot of French troops have just been sent back to the homeland to protect their country, which, surprisingly, France is actually doing. They push back really good, but they can't do much more. And now we have Germany losing Berlin. So, with both of these countries' capitals under siege, it's not going to be good. Germany completely falls apart after they lose Berlin. They don't fully fall apart. They still have Frankfurt, which is what they're trying to protect. The UK, there's so many German troops out that the UK is actually kind of struggling to even push through. And French troops are still aiding Germany, so they kind of just, you know, do that and take over Alsace-Lorraine. And the UK is soloing Germany, Sweden, France. That would not happen in real life, but they're an empire, so they can do it. Eventually, France, the French army is able to have a breakthrough, and France just realises that there's no point. So France surrenders, and Germany surrenders too. Because, well, there's no hope. So yeah, I don't think the UK will be able to solo 3 of these countries at once, but they did. Let's take a look at this peace treaty. So the peace treaty, yep, UK is becoming one of the strongest countries in the world. They probably already one of the strongest, they're probably in the top 3 now. So, beginning off with Sweden, who for some reason wasn't the most harmed. They lost some of their northern part, but in all reality, not too bad, except for the resources. And as well as losing all of Norway. Now, Sweden, in all reality, if this happened in real life, Sweden would probably be the most damaged in this war. But the UK had no plans to invade Sweden at all. The UK, as you can see, with France and Germany, they got a lot on taken out of them. UK already had a plan to invade Germany and France, so yeah. Okay, later. Germany had a big chunk taken out of them, and they're probably damaged right now because they lost Frankfurt as well as Hamburg. France, they didn't lose too much, but again, they lost their coast. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.